Hello. This episode of TNG by 30 will cover pen pals and Q Who. And it is brought to you by Joe Mama's Milk from Keegan's Brewery in Kingston, New York. Mm-hmm. I always pick up something from Keegan's when I'm in New York. And 312 from Goose Island. Mm-hmm. Some pretty good stuff.
Yep.
It's not actually sponsored. We've just been drinking.
Yeah.
So, pen pals.
Pen pals.
Yes. Data has been talking to a little girl with a ham radio, basically.
Yeah. And I was thinking, more of like a, he's just hanging around chat rooms talking to strange little... But no, it's more like...
Talking to strange little girls. No.
No, it is definitely like Data's a ham radio operator.
Yeah, and he comes into... or like a CB operator in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, little girl sends out a message saying, is anyone out there? And Data responds. They figure out that she's on this planet that is going to be destroyed because someone switched their Folgers crystals with their lithium crystals. Mm-hmm. And they are exploding. I don't know.
Planet's falling apart.
And it's happened to several planets already. So they know exactly what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And Wesley is given command of...
Like a research to try to find out what's going on with these planets.
Yeah, and how to solve it. And it's really an exercise in teaching Wesley authority.
Yeah.
Which they do really well. Everyone in this episode was a really good mentor and manager for Wesley. Mm-hmm. I think they told him exactly what he needed to know, but gave him enough reign to do it however way he wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think they did a really good job. And I've had really shitty managers before, so I really thought that was great. Anyway, they get to the planet and they have to decide whether it's morally correct
whether to break the prime directive. Making
of non-interference.
Making contact with the civilization who I don't think has warp power, or they don't know that that other people or other aliens exist besides themselves, and Data already broke it by being a ham radio operator.
Yes.
And they had a big discussion in Captain Picard's office. Or like
this really like big philosophical discussion.
Which, is I think the first time that this ever comes up in Star Trek. Usually it's just like, oh, we're gonna make contact with these cavemen and break the prime directive. Okay.
Yeah.
But this time it's really sat down and talked about a lot, which is interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
And Picard decides not to break the prime directive until he hears the little girl's voice.
Yeah.
I think Data does that on purpose. Because I'm sure he could delete the connection without broadcasting.
Press the mute button.
Yeah. But...
Which also I think brings up an interesting question. If it wasn't a little girl that they were hearing, if it was... I don't know, some 40-year-old scientist from the planet below.
Yeah.
Do you think, was it Geordi and Dr. Pulaski would have been...
Dr. Pulaski wouldn't have given a fuck.
Well, no. She would have been like, oh, let's go save him anyway. But, a lot of, half of the crew was just like that. They were like, oh, we have to go save them.
Oh, no. I thought that Pulaski would have just been like, oh, kill him, whatever.
Oh, fair enough.
Because she's horrible. I'm just going to assign all of the things that I don't like to Dr. Pulaski.
Then Data has to go and beam down to try to contact with her because they decide...
Yeah.
They decide to break the prime directive.
Yeah, but he ends up bringing her back to the Enterprise, which pisses off Picard.
Yep.
You brought a child onto my ship, onto my bridge?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And, I don't know, they fix it.
They fix it, they erase her memory.
Yeah.
Which I'm disturbed that they have the capability to erase people's memories.
Yeah.
And send the little girl back to her planet.
And everybody lives happily ever after on a planet that's now smoldering. At least it's not volcanically active anymore.
Yeah, it's not going to blow up.
Volcanically passive.
And that little girl was played by Nikki Cox from Unhappily Ever After, which is pretty cool. So, Q who?
Q who? Sorry, anyway. It's a Q episode.
Yeah.
It's
a really good episode.
Is it, Picard gets off the turbo lift and all of a sudden is in a shuttle with Q.
There's some homoerotic tension.
Oh, yeah, they're getting, Q's getting all up on, very close, very like that, yeah, and,
He just pulled away from me.
We'll discuss this later.
Anyway, Q's like, hey, I want to be part of your ship. I want to be on your crew.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even give up my magic Q powers.
Yeah. Just make sure you get rid of Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Because there can only be one special guest on this show.
Well, he and Guinan do not get along.
No.
He's apparently known Guinan for like 200 years.
She throws up a karate stance at him. It's like, I'm going to air quote at you.
Yes.
And,
I'm guessing that Guinan knows some sort of magic. Because it looked like they were going to magic at each other.
It did.
Which would have been cool.
But, Picard tells, Q, oh yeah, we're ready for anything. We don't need your help. We don't need a god on our ship.
Yeah, they're not ready for what comes next.
Yeah, because Q snaps his fingers, sends them off to meet the Borg.
As soon as I saw a ship that looked like it came from Hellraiser, my first thought was the Borg. And I've seen the movie that has the Borg in it.
Yeah.
What one was that?
First Contact.
Okay, I've seen that, but I was a wee one.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew nothing about Star Trek at the time. So I really don't remember anything about it, other than Scary Woman.
That's probably good. I mean, when the Borg start being introduced to the Borg, it's like, I haven't seen this episode in probably like 15 years. And it really feels like a turn for the better.
There are some stakes.
Yeah. It feels like one of the first times the stakes have been, actually raised on this show.
And it's not just about exploring and, getting to understand other people and saving other people.
Yeah.
It's kind of a, what? What is this?
Yeah.
It's totally unlike anything you've seen before on the show.
The big cube, pulls up next to the Enterprise and they're like, okay, let's hail them. And, the entire time, Picard and, the crew are asking Guinan, okay, how can we reason with them? How can we negotiate with them? And she's just like, no, you can't. And that's a very, very different,
There's no negotiating with the Borg. There's no even talking.
No. I think the only time the Borg speak to them is like, if you fire at us, you'll be punished, I think they say.
And it turns out that the ship is part of the Borg as well.
Yeah. Not
just the individual assimilated creatures.
Yeah.
Or assimilated people's mans?
Mans.
The Borg mans.
The Borg mans.
Yeah. The Borg nines?
And more Ingmar Borgman.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about this episode, and I read this is something that even when I saw it when I was a young warthog, like I've always loved, this episode in particular, because I mean even Q I don't think has been as sinister as he is like before in the other episode. Like I didn't watch any of the Q episodes with you before this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I always thought of him as like the trickster god. And now he shows up and he's like, oh, you guys think humanity's great. Nope.
Yeah. It does bring up that humans are being introduced to the Borg earlier in the timeline than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Guinan brings that up.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder, what the fuck is Guinan?
That's fair.
And if this wasn't supposed to happen, because it happened, wouldn't she not know that it didn't happen?
Well, I mean, they didn't really send him through time.
No.
Like,
he just sends them through space.
Yeah. But,
like, if human... I'm assuming that they are going to make a record of coming into contact with Q and the Borg.
Yeah.
So, there's contact established on record of human beings encountering the Borg.
Yeah.
Which means that Guinan's wrong.
She's wrong.
That Q has altered the timeline.
Well, she didn't really say that. She just said that, you've encountered them a lot earlier than you were supposed to. Which I think just kind of implies that they're coming to Earth, or they're coming to, our part of the galaxy. He's just kind of sending you a warning that, he showed you he showed you that they're on their way. Not, like, he's, I don't know.
But what if Q hadn't done that? Would the Borg even know about humanity? Or, like, Federation?
Oh, that's a good question.
Get there.
Yeah, that's true. Did he actually show them, did he actually give them a warning, or did he, just all of a sudden, put a big beacon on Earth for the Borg?
The Borg scanned the ship.
Yeah.
So they know everything that the Enterprise knows.
Yeah.
Which is probably the entirety of human history.
Although they did say that, when they found a planet, they said, there are roads, but it looks like, the cities have been scooped out of the ground.
Yeah.
And it's similar to what's been going on in our neutral zone.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
Maybe I think they do know about us. So maybe it is more of a Q is just trying to give them
a heads up.
A heads up.
Why?
The Borg are scary.
Yeah, but I imagine Q is scarier.
Maybe he likes peoples. I don't know.
He's a benevolent Q.
He's a benevolent Q.
Sometimes.
I don't know.
I don't know. Good episode, though.
Yeah.